my turned on face. I'm licensed, like I have a registered license in streaming. So it's really irritating for me when people in the chat try to tell me how to do like my job, because I'm registered. I've gone through the training classes. I am certified. It's what I went to Twitch streaming school for. Fully certified. Alisha, have you ever stalked anyone IRL? No, but I've been slightly stalked myself by this old guy. I think I've already told you the story. It was not good. I think I did tell you guys. Did I ever tell you guys the story of the guy who like fucking stalked me? I used to work at Sonic, right? And actually I don't think I might not have told you guys this story because it's kind of creepy. So I used to work at Sonic and I worked like every day on roller skates, and there was this old guy who was like, he had to be like in his 50s, and he started coming once in a while. Like I'd be like, oh hey, I remember you, how you doing, blah blah. Like I'm just a friendly person, I'm friendly to anybody who I meet, anybody like that. So I'm just like a friendly person. And I was a car hop, so I would roller skate food to people, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And so he would come once in a while, and this was like the first weird time. I was like, oh hi, how are you, blah blah blah. And he was like, you know, I got some, I don't know how your sinuses are, but mine get really bad. And he gave me nasal spray, like organic hand thing of nasal spray. And I was like, what the fuck? Like he's like, I'm not gonna tip you today, here's some nasal spray. And I was like, oh thanks, like okay, I'll try it out. And he would come back and he was like, how did you like the nasal spray? And I was like, oh you know, it didn't really work out for me. I was like, it didn't really work out, it's just, you know, it kind of hurt my nose. I was like, do you want it back? I was like, do you want it back? And then he was like, yeah, I'll take it back. So I like poured some of it out and like screwed the thing back on, and I gave it back to him. Like that was the weirdest fucking thing. It's just fucking weird. I don't know what was in the nasal spray, but I never took it or anything, so because this guy was just fucking weird. But anyway, so he would come every, like, it was happening where he would come every single day. Like, every day that I was working, he would come by. I would be his, you know, his car hop, give him his food, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He would, like, come every day, like, every day. And then he started bringing in gifts. Like, it wasn't like, because you're supposed to tip your car hop. They're waitresses. I was paid $3 an hour, and you're supposed to get tips. And he would always give me like a tip, because I mean, I'm a waitress technically. So he would start bringing in like other stuff though. Like it wasn't like money. He would bring in like I get this stuff. He would always say, I get this stuff really cheap off of eBay or whatever, these like bulk websites. He'd be like, here's all the, like, there's like earbuds, and he's like, pick out an earbud. And I was like, oh no, it's okay, like, don't worry about it. He's like, no, I get them really cheap online, just pick one. And I was like, okay, I'll take the baby blue. And then the next time he came in again, he had more stuff, and he gave me like, it was like a phone case or whatever, and he's like, oh, and it's baby blue, your favorite color. And I was like, okay man, you really, like, you need to stop. So then one day, I mean, this was even a little bit prior to that, he's like, what's your email address? And I was like, I don't really check my email a lot. And he's like, no, but just tell me what I'll send you some really great deals. Thank you very much, Yuchi Itachi, for subscribing for 2 months in a row. Thank you very much. He asked me for my, well, first he tried to get my phone number, and I was like, oh, I forget what I said. I made some kind of excuse up. I was like, oh, I don't text on my phone. Like, I can only text my family. I don't know. I made up some fucking excuse. Then he was like, what's your email address? And I was like, oh, I really don't check my email. And he's like, no, just give me your email address. I'll send you some really great deals. Like, when the sales are, I remember this. When the sales are good, they're good. And I was like, okay. So I, like, gave him one of my really old email addresses. Like, really old email addresses. And he's like, okay, awesome. He's like, and don't be creeped out if I send you, like, any Victoria's Secret coupons, because when the sales are good, they're good. And I was like, alright, man, like, you're really fucking creeping me out. Like, you're just fucking, like, I'm a nice person. I was young at the time. I should have said, dude, no, I'm not giving you my email. You're fucking weird. Like, now I would have said that. But back then, I was a pushover. I was really nice, and I couldn't say no. I was not the type of person who'd say, no, I'm not, no. For some reason, I just had trouble doing that kind of stuff. So anyway, there was another time he tried to give me something else. That was the time later on he tried to give me something else, and he's like, it's baby blue, your favorite color. And I was like, I'm sorry, I had to make up an excuse. I was getting freaked out, and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't accept gifts anymore. My manager said that I can't take gifts anymore. He's like, well, why not? It's a small thing. I don't understand why you can't take this. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't take this. My manager said I can't. And his face turned red, and he looked pissed off or whatever. And so yeah, besides that, the next day he sent me, like, I was just checking my email to see if he was actually sending me stuff, and he sent me an email saying, tell your manager that I'll take my business elsewhere, blah blah blah, you know, if they don't want my money. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're flipping out about the fact that I can't take gifts anymore? Like, I just came up with that anyway. But he was like, you know, I can't believe that, you know, blah blah blah. And I never even responded to his emails or anything. Well, this was like the breaking point. So, I mean, even before that happened, so I kind of skipped ahead a little bit. Even before that happened, I went away to England for like 2 months, and they said during those 2 months, he never went to the restaurant. Like, during those 2 months, he never ate there. The day that I came back, he was there. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you didn't know the day that I was coming back. So, like, the day that I came back, he was there. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, I knew he was gonna be, like, creepy, and I knew he was gonna be there. And there was this one time, me and my family, we were going out to eat or whatever, and I knew what car he drove and everything. I knew the license plate number, I knew the car he drove, because I just wanted to be on the safe side. So we got in the car at my house, at my dad's house. We got in the car, and I see his car drive past my house, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he just drove past my house. Like, this guy drove past my house. And I was like, that's it. I told my dad what had been going on. I told my family, I was like, this guy, I think he's stalking me. Like, I think he's actually stalking me. I saw him drive past our house. I was like, what the fuck? And so anyway, my dad's like, we need to file a police report or whatever. He's like, you need to go to the police station and file a report. So I go to the police station and I file a report, and shut up, that was me. So I filed a report, And it turns out that the guy had actually lived around the corner from me. So I'm sure he knew my car. Well, actually, I 100% know for sure that he knew my car. And if he lived around the corner from me, he would know that when my car wasn't there, I was at work. So this guy was literally, really, like, stalking me. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But anyway, I filed the report. I guess the cop went to his house, talked to him, and I have not seen him since. But man, if I ever see that guy, I'm running. I am running. No, he doesn't know my stream or anything. Maybe it was just a coincidence. Whoa, whoa. It definitely was not a coincidence. Maybe he just wanted to be friendly and saw you as a daughter he never had. No, not a guy who gives nasal spray to someone. Ask them for their email address. Says that they might send Victoria's Secret coupons. And then fucking, like, is creepy when I say that I can't accept gifts anymore and flips out and sends me an email about it. I don't think so. He's your top donator. No, he's not. Maybe he was mentally disabled. Actually, no. Actually, no. And he told me that he worked... Listen to this. He told me he used to work for youth corrections, so he used to deal with young people all the time. I bet you the guy was like fucking around with like people. Yeah. He was just trying to be nice. No, please do not defend him. Please do not. That's creepy. Oh yeah, and then someone else told me too that when I used to skate to his car, he would adjust his mirror. Like, the guy was fucking creepy. Fucking weirdo.